Hey puppy dogs, Riolu puppy here, and today love's in the air, Valentine's Day is drawing near, that kind of rhymes, and spring is on its way, and you know what that means? Yep, Pokemon breeding. So where does the Pokemon egg come from, you ask? Well, my little puppies, when a mommy Pokemon and a daddy Pokemon love each other very much. Actually, it's more complicated than you think. Today, I'm going to explain Pokemon breeding, and yes, this video was inspired by the Jay Witz's video, but I'll link it down below in the description box. Plus, I believed he explained it better than I did. Anyway, without further ado, let's get right into this video. From Generation 2 onward, Pokemon can be bred by dropping off two compatible Pokemon at the Pokemon daycare. Two Pokemon are compatible if they're either the same species or share the same egg group, and are the opposite genders. Most Pokefans breed their Pokemon with Ditto. Ditto being a breedable Pokemon with just about any type of Pokemon you can possibly think of, especially with any gender, considering the fact that Ditto are genderless. The chance of any two Pokemon producing an egg is determined by their species and their original trainers. In Gen 3 onward, the daycare man will describe the two Pokemon's compatibility when the player speaks to him, or her, if the daycare taker is a female. If the species are the same, with a different OT, the two seem to get along very well. There's a 70 to 88% chance of getting an egg. If the species and OT are the same, the two seem to get along. There's a 50 to 80% chance of an egg. If the species are different and the OT is the same, the two don't really seem to like each other very much. There's a 20 to 40% chance of an egg. If the egg groups are different, they're the same gender, or there's an undiscovered egg group, the two prefer to play with other Pokemon than with each other. Then you have a 0% chance of receiving an egg. Trust me, that ain't gonna happen. Although you can use headcanon. But that's for another video. In the games, an egg may be generated after every 256 steps the player takes. It can speed up the process by getting on your bike and riding it around like crazy. Normally, if you don't breed with a Ditto, the first stage Pokemon of the mother will hatch. Here are a few examples. If you breed two Chandelures, but with different genders, the egg will hatch into a Lidwick, which this is known as same species breeding. If you breed a male Umbreon with a female Sylveon, you'll get an Eevee. This is known as same evolution family breeding. If you breed a male Incineroar with a female Pangoro, the egg will turn out to be a Pancham, and this is known as same egg group breeding. If you breed a Latios with a Latias, you won't get anything. This is known as undiscovered egg group breeding. If you breed Desolai, I cannot pronounce the name for the life of me, I am so sorry, that is a male with a female Wigglytuff, you won't get anything either. This is known as different egg group breeding. If you breed a Luxray with a Primarina, and they're both the same gender, you won't get anything either. This is known as same gender breeding. And if you have Pokemon that are the same species but with two different gender types, such as Nidoran being male and female for different... yeah. And speaking of that, Nidoran female and Loomis are able to breed with any compatible Pokemon, while Volbeat and Nidoran male have to breed with a Ditto to produce an offspring. This is known as gender counterpart species, meaning there are two pairs of Pokemon families where the male and female are different species. Sometimes a certain item has to be held for Pokemon to breed. Take incest, for example. I said incest, not incest. And yes, I do have a little bit of a speech impediment with my S, so bear with it. If Meryl or Azumarill hold a seal incest, the offspring will be an Azurill. If not held by either, the offspring will be a Meryl. And the same would have to go for Snorlax. If a full incest is held by either Snorlax in the breeding process, the offspring will be a Munchlax. If not, the offspring will be a Snorlax. And in one special case, even though legendaries can't produce an offspring, Manaphy and Ditto somehow have a Phione as an offspring. How that happens, I have no idea. Now let's get to the offspring in itself. When will that little sucker hatch? Well, one egg cycle lasts about 256 steps, or 255 steps in Generation 4. In Generation 2 and 3, the egg cycle lasts about 256 steps. In later generations, there are 257 steps. That is a lot of steps to take, people. That is a lot of steps to take. And of course, as soon as the egg hatches, what traits will it have? Well, let's get right into this, shall we? By default, the offspring will start with any moves it learns at level 1. For example, if both Lucario have a Riolu, yes, I am using Lucario and Riolu as an example, don't judge me, and the father knows an HM or TM move, the offspring will inherit that move. And now, let's get on to abilities. Ooh boy, this is a little bit crazy, so I shortened it up a little bit. So, let's get right into this one. In Gen 3 onward, abilities couldn't be inherited by breeding. However, since Gen 4, it's possible for a female to pass down their ability. In Black and White, if a female has a hidden ability and is bred with a male, there's a 60% chance of passing it down. In Black and White 2, there's an 80% chance. In Gen 5 onward, if a male or genderless Pokemon has a hidden ability and bred with Ditto, there's a 20% chance of the offspring having the passed down ability from either parent. That isn't Ditto. And what nature will your offspring have? Well, I kind of shortened this one too, so let's get right into this one. If the mother, or Ditto, is holding an Everstone, the baby has a 50% chance of inheriting the Pokemon's nature. So, for example, if you have a timid Pokemon and you want your offspring to be timid, the mother or Ditto will have to either hold the Everstone for the nature to be passed on onto the offspring. And now for some little fun facts. From Pokemon Emerald and onward, a baby Pichu, if either parent, i.e. Raichu or Pikachu, is holding a light ball, the Pichu will know Volt Tackle, and Volt Tackle can't be passed down as a normal egg move. And there is a lot of weird and unusual pairings, like Survivor and Zangoose, which are said to be mortal enemies, and the most famous one of all, Skitty and Wailord. Mostly because of the hilarious way that Skitty is so small and tiny, and Wailord's like the huge, massive whale Pokemon. I don't even know how that's possible myself. Ninurita and Nidoqueen can't breed, but Nidorina male and female can. Don't ask me how that is, it's Pokemon logic. And even though legendaries can't breed, there's been Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres eggs seen in Pokemon Snap. And there's even a baby Lugia seen in the anime. There's also crazy and very unique pairings, as well as Mpreg in Pokemon, but that's for another video. Whew! Well, that's another video done, everyone. Comment down below about your crazy ideas of Pokemon breeding, and maybe even some headcanons. I'd like to hear them. And don't get me started on Pokemon Mpreg. And I'll probably explain what Mpreg is in another video for another day. Anyway, I hope you guys liked this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content, and I'll see Puppy Dogs in the next one. Stay awesome, stay strong, and stay beautiful. Bye! I'm unbeatable. Walking down this endless highway, nothing but my friends beside me. We'll never give in, we'll never rest. Advanced battle is the ultimate test for me.